Straight ahead on 12 News, brightening up a cloudy day in Maple Grove as a familiar face takes a swing for charity. Plus, the local berry farm that relies on its youth.
We run our business with teenagers, and I'm proud of that fact.
But first, a day of celebration also turns into a day of reflection in Golden Valley.
Events like what happened in Orlando really drive home why events like the Pride Festival are so important.
12 News starts right now. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. Golden Valley held its first Gay Pride Festival over the weekend. While the event was held to celebrate diversity, many remembered the victims of the Orlando attack on a gay nightclub where 49 people were killed and countless others injured. Our local coverage begins with 12 News reporter Sonia Goins.
I wish that today was purely a day of celebration.
A somber start to what was supposed to be a happy occasion.
So let's all take a moment of silence out of respect for the victims of the Orlando shooting.
Despite the tragedy, about 3,000 people gathered at Brookview Park to celebrate community, family, and friends. The Twin Cities Gay Men's Choir serenaded the crowd. Many event goers say they want to show solidarity with the Orlando terror attack victims.
Our hearts are with the victims and their families, and our hearts are there with them.
It certainly is a very, very frightening event, and I hope people are going to be very reflective about the nature of violence in our country.
Golden Valley has more LGBT households per capita than any other community in the state.
Everybody should be treated equal. Nobody should be above or below anybody else. We're all equal here. So.
Festival organizers say it's important to celebrate our differences.
Events like what happened in Orlando really drive home why events like the Pride Festival are so important. It's all about celebrating diversity and inclusivity and welcoming people for who they are.
While the Orlando tragedy weighed heavily on many, they vowed to remain unified and unmoved by the senseless attack.
Their death will not be in vain. We are here today to stand for them and to celebrate because that's what they'd want us to do.
A few protesters showed up to denounce homosexuality. It resulted in a shouting match with some Pride Festival goers. But organizers say no additional security was needed in light of the Orlando terror attacks. And Mike, the Pride Festival raised about $8,000. The organizers are meeting soon to talk about holding another festival next year.
All right, thank you, Sonia. Well, the incident in Orlando renewed debate over whether people should have the ability to purchase and own assault weapons. It was a message repeated at Sunday's Pride Festival in Golden Valley, and Delane Cleveland joins us now with more on that. Delane?
Yeah, Mike, Sunday's festival was supposed to be about fun, but in the wake of the Orlando massacre, event organizers allowed the organization Protect Minnesota to stage a rally against gun violence.
At some point, we have to have the guts to take a stand at the legislature and to say at least people who want guns should go through a background check so we can make sure that they are not people with violent mental illnesses, to make sure that they are not people with convictions for domestic abuse, to make sure that they are not people with violent felony histories.
State Senator Ron Latz was one of the speakers at Sunday's rally. This year he sponsored a bill that ultimately failed in the legislature, which would have expanded background checks for all gun buyers. Sunday, he and other lawmakers joined representatives from Protect Minnesota to push for what they call common sense regulations and common sense public policy that would make gun ownership safer.
We have no problems with responsible gun ownership, and indeed many responsible gun owners are members of Protect Minnesota. But we do have a problem with gun violence, and we know that we could be passing legislation, common sense regulations, the kind of regulations we have about motor vehicles, for instance, that would make gun ownership safer in America. And that is our goal, not the confiscation of guns.
The DFL lawmakers in attendance on Sunday were hopeful that they could get the background checks passed in 2017. Meanwhile, the Minnesota Gun Owners Civil Rights Alliance reminded people that the Orlando shooter passed at least 5 separate background checks, including one from the state of Florida and one from the FBI's National Instant Background Check System. Mike?
All right, Delane, thank you. Two men, one from Brooklyn Park and another from Robbinsdale, were among 4 people shot at a large party at a rural home south of the Twin Cities. It happened on a 43-acre property in Rice County's Webster Township early Saturday morning. As many as 300 people were at the party when some sort of dispute arose that led to gunfire. Among the wounded, 45-year-old Henry Brown of Brooklyn Park and 26-year-old Anthony Shannon of Robbinsdale. A woman was critically injured. Police continue to look for the shooter or shooters. Getting to Champlin Park High School and Jackson Middle School won't be easy this summer. A sewer repair project has forced the closure of 109th Avenue, where both schools are located. The closure between Jackson Middle School and Noble Avenue is expected to last until fall. The Met Council is making improvements to deteriorating sanitary sewer lines that serve Champlin and Brooklyn Park. Local traffic will still have access, but homeowners should be aware the detours will change through the summer. A distinguished honor for a Plymouth business executive. The CEO of Blue Belt Technologies was named Entrepreneur of the Year in the Upper Midwest. Eric Timko joined Blue Belt in 2011. The Plymouth company specializes in robotic-assisted orthopedic surgery. Blue Belt was purchased last year by a London-based med tech company for $275 million. In New Hope, expansion plans have emerged at the Lifetime Fitness Club there. Signs at the club alert customers of the expansion. Lifetime is situated at the strip mall at 42nd and Winnetka. It is currently one of the smaller Lifetime clubs. One sure sign of summer is the start of berry picking season. In this week's Business Matters, Carissa Wyant takes us to Bauer Berry Farm in Champlin, a local staple in the Northwest Metro.
Farmer Bill Bauer is breaking ground today. He and wife Nancy will open their doors this week, celebrating their 39th season in business, the business of berry picking.
It's an experience. If you work for what you eat, it tastes better.
They have operated as a sustainable farm since 1977.
This was the heyday. This is the late 70s, when pick-your-own farms were everywhere, at every corner.
And while business has been good for them over the years, they say their type of business is becoming increasingly rare.
What do you think we have now? A tenth of the farms that we used to? And all the farmers are our age, so it's a bad sign that there's going to be a 20th of the, if half of them go out. It's a lot of work.
While the Bauers also worked as teachers in local districts, retiring in 2004, they are still shaping young people's lives.
We run our business with teenagers, and I'm proud of that fact. I mean, I brag about them all the time.
They are staffed by about 25 teens who work part-time. The strawberry picking season runs through mid-July, and then the Bauers switch to blueberries, which one can also come out and pick, making for a fruitful adventure. Providing healthy quality products and treating the environment with care are also a big part of their business model.
There's a lot of difference between farmers of our size and these 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 acre farmers. They're in it for the maximum, and they use chemicals that we wouldn't even dream of using.
Even though they are farming locally, the Bauers are thinking globally.
This environment doesn't belong to one single person or one group of farmers. It belongs to the whole world community.
In Champlin, Carissa Wyant, 12 News.
The Bauer Berry Farm opens Tuesday from 8 to 10 a.m. and their hours after that will be determined by weather and the availability of berries. Well, coming up, a pair of pants that can brighten up a cloudy day in Maple Grove. And then later in sports, one local school repeats as champions at the state track and field meet. But first, chance for more thunderstorms Tuesday evening. For some kids, finding lunch when school is out for summer is a challenge. United Methodist Church in Brooklyn Center is helping kids through its Sunny program. The church provides 2 lunches to take home Monday, Wednesday, and Friday all summer. And organizers expect to hand out about 200 lunches a day.
We had 2 or 3 young men come in who were in the sports program, and one of them went away, and as he was walking away, he said, if it wasn't for your program, I wouldn't have lunch.
Some local schools also began offering free meals this week. Meals at some Anoka, Hennepin, and Osseo schools are available for those 18 and under. The Robbinsdale district offers breakfast and lunch for students enrolled in summer programs. And check with your school district for times and locations. There were some celebrity sightings today in Maple Grove. The 9th annual Greg Jennings Celebrity Golf Classic was held at Rush Creek. Current and former NFL players showed up to raise money for a good cause. We get more from Eric Nelson.
The gloomy skies in Maple Grove did not spoil the fun today at Rush Creek. Former Minnesota Vikings wideout Greg Jennings even brightened up the day with his colorful attire.
This is more of a sun shirt. All right. If we don't have sun, I figured I would be the sun for the day.
Jennings golf tournament brought in plenty of NFL star power with the likes of Larry Fitzgerald Jr. and John Randall. More importantly, the tournament raised money for kids' charities in Minnesota and Michigan.
Our focus is youth and education. We're not trying to create something new. We're trying to just bridge the gap and partner with organizations that have a program in place.
We definitely try to spread it around and spread the love, spread the funds that we have to share with the community and the kids in the after-school programs.
This is the second year that Rush Creek has hosted the event, and Jennings is grateful for their support.
They've been unbelievable with the amount of support, flexibility, just being able to just be on call, do the things that we need them to do.
Rush Creek is one of the first courses I've learned to play on. This is where I learned to try to find some of my golf balls for a Minnesota event. This is the place to have it at.
Jennings played 2 of his 10 seasons in Minnesota. His family has fallen in love with the Twin Cities.
There's a lot of positive things that are taking place here in the Twin Cities, and we want to be a part of it.
Jennings is currently a man without a team, but NFL or no NFL, he is content.
Being a dad, being a husband, that is who I am every single day, every second of every day.
In Maple Grove, I'm Eric Nelson, Channel 12 News.
The Greg Jennings Golf Tournament raised $114,000 for his foundation last year, and they're hoping to surpass that this year. Coming up, a golden potato still missing in Brooklyn Park. But first, local athletes bring home gold on day 2 of the state track and field meet. John Jacobson has that and more next in sports. Well, John Jacobson now with sports. Always good to bring home some medals, some hardware to put in the cabinet, right? And that's what some track and field guys.
Right. We've had a lot of years where we've had exceptional performances by track and field athletes, and this year no exception. It was another big weekend for athletes from the northwest suburbs in track and field, with a handful of first place finishes for athletes and for one team. Very warm Saturday morning in Hamlin for the Class AA Finals. Good start for Hopkins boys. Seth Eliason anchors the Royals to a 4x800 relay team record, state record time, 7 minutes, 44.56 seconds. Wayzata is second. Boys 100-meter dash, Armstrong's Evan McClellan wins gold with a time of 10.51 seconds. He had finished second in that event a year ago. In the boys 1600, Wayzata's Jarrett Carpenter wins with a time of 4 minutes, 10.89 seconds. He'd won the 3200-meter race Friday. Wayzata's Ruby Stauber caps a great high school career with a runaway victory in the 800 meters. Her time 2 minutes, 7.38 seconds. After our runner-up finish in the discus, Armstrong's Alexandria Hurst wins the shot put with a toss of 46 feet, 1 3/4 inches. Her teammate, Michaela Baker, is third in the triple jump after placing second in the long jump. The Falcons as a team take third. Last race, the boys 4x400 relay. Wayzata is just edged out by Mankato East, but the Trojans repeat as Class AA champions. Here the team scores. Wayzata easily wins with Edina finishing second. Woodbury, Eden Prairie, and Elk River round out the top 5. Locally, Hopkins is 10th, Armstrong 26th, and Champlin Park 34th. The Class AA girls team race is very close. Alexandria edges Chanhassen by 1/4 of a point. Armstrong is third, just 2 points back of the Storm. Wayzata is 28th, and Champlin Park 34th. Blake won the Class A girls title. The state high school lacrosse tournaments get underway Tuesday morning. Wayzata's boys, the number 6 seed in Section 8, beat higher seeded teams 3 times in sections to reach state. The Trojans are the number 5 seed for the state tournament, and they play 4 seeded Tartan in the quarterfinals Tuesday at 3 o'clock at Minnetonka High School. Maple Grove's girls are in the state tournament for the second time in the program's history. The Crimson is seeded 5th. They meet Stillwater in the quarterfinals. That match at 3 o'clock Tuesday at Chanhassen High School. Their tournament semifinals are Thursday with championships on Saturday. The Champlin Park Rebels are one of 3 local teams in the state Class 4A baseball tournament that starts on Thursday. On this week's Sports Jam show on Channel 12, Jason Malillo profiles Rebels senior Aaron Kloeppner. Here's a clip from that story.
Solid as an outfielder, infielder, and with the bat, Kloeppner is also a regular starting pitcher for CP. In the section final round, with the Rebels needing 2 wins to get to state, Kloeppner got the ball in the first game and guided Champlin to a 9-1 victory. The Rebels won the decisive second game 4-2 to win the section title.
Swing and a miss, and he strikes out, and Champlin Park is headed to state.
This spring was the last hurrah of an impressive run for Kloeppner as a high school student athlete. During his time at Champlin Park, Kloeppner was a 3-sport guy: cross country in the fall, basketball in the winter, and baseball in the spring.
Now you can see the rest of that story and more on this week's Sports Jam. It airs through Wednesday on Channel 12 and our HD channel 799. Also on our website at 12.tv at 3:30, 6:30, and 9:30 p.m. each of those days. Mike will have more on the state baseball tournament. Champlin Park, Maple Grove, and Wayzata all getting ready for state. That's coming up Tuesday starting at 4.
Big day.
Yes.
All right. Let's hope it doesn't rain.
Right. Yeah.
And we'll be right back. Well, finally, Tater Days in Brooklyn Park are just 3 days away now, and the hunt for the golden spud continues. Here's clue number 3. Spud McTater, once a diamond in the rough himself, wanted to surprise Fenimore, his dear friend, with a scavenger hunt in the nature areas they both love, finding the golden spud at the end. Finding the spud is worth a $300 prize, and that's $400 if you purchase the Tater Days button. So think of that one, look at the 2 from last week, and figure it out. I'm not sure.
It didn't help me there.
No. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We'll see you back here again Tuesday starting at 4.